Hello. Let's get started. Let's get this away. There we go. How are you doing? Welcome back. After a small pause last week, since I was sick, I'm still sick, but recovering. But yeah, I got a persistent bug. So yeah, it looks like Dante, my son, he's aligned with Nurgle because god damn it, it's the second time I'm getting sick in 1 month from his cold. So yeah, not fun, I can't tell you. I mean, last week I could barely stay normal. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, let's continue with our Chaos Lord of the Word Bearers, our champion. Let's see where we can push it. I hope that you all had a fantastic week, or you are, well, it's not finished, so you are having a fantastic week, and that you've been painting and drawing a lot. And yeah. All right, so where are we at? Since I haven't touched it in 2 weeks. All right. All right, yes. Let me put the our chimney back in place. Let's see. It was this one. There you go, cozy. And okay, let me see also a few things here. Yeah, just give me a minute, guys. One second. Okay. Where do I have these? This is a little bit too loud, right? Let me just put it a little bit down. Yeah, and I have to put the recording. Patrick, hello, hola, bonjour. You have got a few more years to go before your immune system catches up with. Yeah, I bet. I assure you, elementary school are also aligned with Nurgle. Yeah, well, I can tell you, I'm really looking forward to that. Oh. Vinotto, finally catch you on stream. Well, glad that you did. So welcome to the stream. Yes. Yeah, man. Patrick, yeah. I haven't been like super sick, but yeah, having very low energy, been very tired, and a lot of with the throat and the nose, and yeah. So I'm still not recovered, so I might apologize if my voice is not in the best place, or I struggle to speak or even cough like now. Yeah, I will try to mute when I do, or if I blow my nose. But yeah, okay. Let me just the recording. Okay, here we are. So is it on? Yes. And I need to know. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the chat. Yeah, so many things going on at the same time on the on my computer, and I'm a little bit out of touch from these 2 weeks. I don't know why, but yeah. David De Luca. Hey Miguel, how are you doing? Feeling any better? Hey man, welcome. Yes, I'm better, but not fully recovered. So yeah. Yeah, way better. Thank you. All right. There's been some. I don't know if you are following anything of Dark Tide, but it's kind of fun to see that they are starting to release more and more things little by little, like small stuff, and I'm truly enjoying everything that they are showing. I think it has been today they released a concept of mine of a character, which is pretty cool, that they have shared. I mean, so that's pretty neat. And yeah, and all. I don't know if you are following all these audio, video, audio releases that they are also uploading daily. They have released 4 so far, and kind of unraveling a little bit of the backstory for the game. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, the date it's approaching, and I cannot tell you how hyped I am for the release. Also a little bit stressed, to be honest, but good type, a good type of stress, more out of excitement. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, there you go. Our classic bug with Photoshop. Let me pause the recording 1 second. If I do this, and I'll do like this. Yeah, it should work. Fifth 50 LPP. Hello, hola. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? What if I just redo this guy here a little bit? I'm not sure that I don't think he's on the same level as the rest. Yeah, going back to the things with Dark Tide. Of course, I have absolutely no idea what they have planned to release and share or anything, and also regarding my my own work, since obviously that's something that Fat Shark marketing department must be handling, and so yeah, I'm not sure if they will be releasing anything else from the work that I've been doing these past years. I mean, so far they have been mostly sharing some mostly environment concept art and some few character concepts. I think they have actually shared another concept of mine, like a rough sketch lineup, like a lineup of rough sketches. But nothing else, I think, aside from what was released like some time ago. So yeah, pretty excited. But I mean, I can tell you, I have tons of things that they could be showing. So yeah, I don't know. Probably they will not show much because, of course, that will be spoilers. I'm guessing. But yeah, and then when it comes to these audio files, I'm really enjoying them. I think it puts us into the right mood to get into the proper mood to play the game. I mean, to me, what is the most appealing for the game as a future player is to be able to, I think I explained this on a previous stream, for the first time, to really be able to kind of live the fantasy of being a character within the 40k universe properly, because normally just like RTS type of games, or yeah, so this time like really kind of dive deep into that fantasy and the fiction. And in this case, doing some work for the Inquisition, right? So, I mean, being such a absolutely nuts fan of the Eisenhorn and Ravener novels of Mr. Abnett, yeah, it feels awesome to be able to experience something as what they describe or hint on the novels, right? So yeah, I cannot wait to play the game. Sorry. 50 LPP. Ajá, ok, vale, ya entiendo. David De Luca, I missed that last stream. Could you please expand on the character you are illustrating? It's awesome, by the way. Thanks, David. Well, it is... This is the first thing I'm doing for this series of sequential illustrations that I planned, or, well, not planned, but I thought about for some time. Focusing in doing some like very small and humble storytelling within the 40k universe of like very focusing on the very dark grim aspect of it, and focusing on characters, like this case very proud and righteous chaos champion with a very like a very big potential to fulfill like I don't know, great things for the dark powers and whatever, or fulfill some destiny of something, and that just kind of in 1 second just ends in his death in the most unglorious way possible, in a way that he would have never expected, and with no glory or anything, because the universe doesn't care basically towards our attempts to build narratives out of ourselves, and that we have a role to play in some sort of artificial in an actual artificial narrative of self-fulfillment and stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea. The only problem I'm having so far is that since I'm so busy and have so little time, I haven't had real time to really think about how I will take this character and how I will move the story for this specific character. I just know that I will have to kill him in some way and maybe use just another illustration. So that's what I mean. That's going to be very humble and very short type of storytelling through maybe 2 or maximum 3, but I'm aiming more to sequences of 2 illustrations, like showing the before and after of what happens to the character, and then I will have to write a small short story, and my goal would be just to make some sort of narrated video with those images and those stories. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe I never will be able to do or finish anything because I'm soon to start with my own projects, so, and of course I will spend most of the time with that, so that's why I was planning to do this mainly for only during the streams. And talking about my projects and Patreon and all of that, I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm leaning towards launching my Patreon in the beginning of July. So just kind of calculating how much time I have. I will probably go on vacation in June, and I was planning to launch the Patreon before, but since we are going for vacations, I don't think it's a good idea just to launch the Patreon and just go on vacation, right? So I'm postponing the whole thing 1 month. So yeah, I will still have to make a official announcement once I'm completely sure, but I will I will know very, very, very soon. And also that would mean that the tutorial for how to paint and draw Space Marines will have to wait for release until I launch my Patreon. The reason for it is because I'm talking about my Patreon on those videos, and it will be very bad if I release those videos, and some people might be interested in checking the Patreon and there is no Patreon. So yeah, I have to first launch my Patreon and then release to the public the tutorials, which I'm sad about that, but sadly I don't have any way around. That's yeah. So, but it's gonna happen. I mean, yeah, as I said, those videos are the tutorials are already done. Just waiting for the kind people of Juan Toledano and Peter that they offer to give some help with the subtitles and translations into Polish and Spanish. So that means that well, it's this delay might not be that big delay because still I don't want to publish them without those subtitles anyway. So yeah, Patreon most probably at the very beginning of July, and I would like to do a special stream focus on just like some kind of Q&A to explain a little bit of what I want to do with Patreon, and especially cater to my projects, and yeah, in case people have some questions. But yeah, I will have to do that. Yeah, I still don't know when exactly, but yeah, but that's something I have in my mind. Cincuenta el Pepe. Are you fan of doing this kind of lighting approach and using gradient map to color? Not really, to be honest. I just decided to do this in grayscale because it's I thought it to be a little bit more fitting for a very grim dark, and I'm not sure if I would do even colors with these. So it's more of a stylistic choice on my part. Yeah, if normally if I can, I tend to prefer to work directly in colors. Yeah. Pontus, hey man, how are you doing? Welcome. How are you, Pontus? Juan Toledano, the one and only. How are you doing, man? This is the kind soul that I was talking about that is helping me with the translation into Spanish of the tutorials of how to paint and draw Space Marines. And so far, he is the only one aside of me that has seen the tutorials. Cincuenta el Pepe. Okay, something like Adrian Smith hate, kinda. Well, I don't know because I don't know exactly what was his reasons for doing it that way. I guess it would have been something of that kind. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, in black and white. And by the way, I absolutely adore hate. which, by the way, I actually, as a matter of fact, I have it here just by pure coincidence, because I was cleaning my desk, and yeah. So if you don't have these, I cannot recommend enough this comic by the Beast of Adrian Smith. So yeah, going back to these little projects, it will go, since it's gonna go pretty slow, since I will only have the streams to work on. That's why I also wanted to make it as simple as possible and not too ambitious, unless I find a way to somehow to get somebody else involved, and then we can do some sort of collaboration. Then yeah, that could be fantastic. Then I could do something a little bit more ambitious with it, but for now the scope is to be very small and simple thing. Um, 50 El Pepe. I don't know if you know Tremen Comic. Pinboss plus Mark Caro. No, I do not, or I don't think I know. Just like this by the name. They got BW style. Just awesome. Take a look. If you don't know it, you will enjoy it a lot. I definitely will. So thanks for the suggestion. I'm a passionate how do you say lover of comics. So yeah. So going back to Dark Tide, I'm just wondering, is there anything that you are expecting or hoping for from the game, or what is it that you are looking the most out of it, even though there is barely anything explained or shown, but yeah, I'm very curious. So more parchments for this guy. I have to start thinking about his maul or mace. 50 el Pepe, me neither. I'm not a fan at all, but I ended up seeing one page of Tremen and I fell in love at the moment. All right. I will definitely look into it. Could you give me a hint? What is it about? Is it like yeah, I don't know. Can you give me a hint? Richard, oh, no time no see. How are you doing? Good evening to everybody. Question for everyone: would you paint snake scales on Terminator armor, Indomitus or Gordon pattern of Sons of Medusa chapter? I find it as good idea, but can't decide to do it. So because of obvious reasons, Alpha Legion. Yeah, that's a good question. My humble opinion is that I would not. I would not. I would how I would interpret visually those that visual thematic into the salamanders or descendants is on reptilian type of skins hanging on top of the armor, but not the armor itself having scales. That would be my own way to do it. So the only way to add this reptilian feel is through skins attached to the armor. Because of what you are saying regarding the Alpha Legion. But again, that's just my humble opinion. So yeah. I think it could look cool as well. I don't know. But how are you doing, man? You've been like away for a long time. Happy to see you being around. Unless, of course, you've been just lurking all this time. Yeah, this is way better. So come on, people. Any thoughts regarding what you are expecting of Dark Tide? Uh, 50 LPP. It's weird, no script, just image, a lot of storytelling, just with just grayscale. It's kind of a dystopic future. Nice. Google it when you got time. The moment you see one page, you will know if it gets you. Yeah. I promise you, I'm gonna do that after the stream. Yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting to mute the microphone, so sorry for coughing into the microphone. 50 LPP, I work as a concept artist too, and it gets my eye very fast. Nice. Nice. Oh man. But going back to your question regarding why I'm doing it in black and white, this illustration, I would say, is a mix between trying to keep it simple, but also from a narrative point of view. So just to underline the grim and dark tone to the stories. Even though it can still be done with colors, absolutely, but of course it gets more depressing if it's with no colors, right? So yeah, always keeping the narrative intent in mind. Now I remember to mute. Good. Um, 50 LPP. About Dark Tide. I prefer not to expect Happy's very bad friend in my experience. That is true. That is true. That's a very wise take. I should do the same, but I cannot avoid it. Even though I totally agree with that position. At the same time, with the older I get, the more I start to shift into thinking that yeah, hype is totally fine, and of course, one thing is to have completely unrealistic expectations, but at least to have reasonable expectations of something of quality. And I think it's totally legitimate to do that and to then put in certain accountability to whoever is doing whatever you are hyped for. If they under deliver in some way. So I'm not afraid of being disappointed. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I've been so many times disappointed with so many things that I enjoyed. Let's say Star Wars, to name some of the more rough and yeah, experiences in that regard. So yeah, I have grown a thick skin, and to the point that I don't care really anymore. So it sucks, and I will not care about that thing, game, film, IP. I mean, I used to be a big fan of Star Wars. I mean, like, who hasn't grown up with Star Wars and liking it to some minimum degree, right? In my case, I loved it since I was a kid, growing up, and all these, especially to me, it's always been the visuals, right? Like those designs and everything, and through these latest years, with after the acquisition of Disney and takeover of the IP of Star Wars, is like I cannot give fuck about Star Wars anymore. I don't care. I just keep to the things that I liked about the original things, and the rest is like it doesn't exist to me. I don't care, and I'm fine with that. That's the thing. So because if you think about it, it's just, well, those things are. It's not that those things that were good hasn't disappeared, right? They are still there. They haven't been replaced or destroyed forever. They are still there, and you will always be able to enjoy them despite of whatever they do later on. So yeah, I just do as the bad things don't exist or don't count, and I move on. So I enjoy being hyped by something that I feel. I mean, I would be hyped by the things that I'm enjoying, or feel that, oh damn, this looks or has potentially look that is gonna be fantastic. So yeah, I'm all for the hype. Films, games, whatever. But then if later they suck, I might be disappointed, but that's about it. I will just move on and ignore it, and yeah. And of course, I will talk about it and complain or say, look at this absolutely piece of trash or whatever. But I will not be. I mean, what I'm trying to say in a very poor way is that I'm not being emotionally involved with these things anymore. even if it's things that I might like a lot. No emotion in not investing any emotions into it anymore. So yeah, we'll get into the hype on reasonable terms, of course, not just being naive. But if things are reasonably promising, then I will totally go for that hype, and of course see what happens, right? But yeah. But anyway, I think Quental Pepe, I totally get you, and it's totally fine. Yeah, and as I said, I mean, it's at the same time, it's a wise thing to do. I mean, another example of this that I'm explaining, I was for many, many years, like the majority of everybody, I was super hyped. And with the Cyberpunk 2077, the game, since it was announced, right? Was like, oh, this could look pretty cool. And since I like so much the cyberpunk genre, like, okay, this could be fantastic. And having liked so much the Witcher series and everything, so it was like, yeah, I'm all for it. I was really, 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 really looking forward to play the game. And but of course I waited a little bit to see what was the reviews and everything, and after the disastrous launch of the game, I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. I'm just gonna wait, and it hasn't been until this week that I bought it. I haven't found the time to play it. But I decided, okay, now I will give it a go. But I'm completely now out of that hype or anything, because I completely removed myself from being that emotionally attached to the disaster and all the bad things that happened with the release of the game. And now we'll try to, whenever I find the time, which, yeah, we'll see, maybe it will take some months, but anyway, when I start playing it, I hopefully will enjoy it. And if it sucks, then it will suck, and I will be disappointed, especially after such a long wait, hoping that all the problems have been kind of solved. But if it still sucks in the way that people were complaining at the very beginning, then I will be very disappointed. But I will just move on anyway. Lucius, hey man, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Like always. Yo, I just want an immersive experience from Dark Tide. I basically want to feel like I am in one of Dan's Inquisitor novels, right? Yes, same here, man. That's exactly what I'm hyped about. That's man, I completely feel you. I'm completely on on your side with that. That's what I'm more excited about. To have a very immersive experience and really experience that fantasy of being an agent of the Inquisition and the thrill that and fear that it's like I might not make it out. That's one of the aspects that I think I mentioned many times that I loved about the vision for the game is like this vulnerability trope and vision, right? That we are not gonna be playing as almighty and powerful space marines, but just people, and then we are gonna feel hopefully very scared and vulnerable to all the dangers that we are going to be confronted in the game. And like that, experience the full horror of 40k. One of the things that I'm very curious, because I have absolutely no idea, it's gonna be the overall tone and feel of the game, in terms of if it's gonna be very dark and scary, not visually speaking, but in the tone and and mood with the music and everything, so that it really feels yeah, truly immersive in that way. Or if it's just gonna be kind of more action type of game, and with yeah, dark environments and scary situations, but more action orientated, and I'm talking in terms of mood. So yeah, I'm curious to see how much they will push this horror aspect to the game. So with so many of those things, I know as much as any of you guys. Uh, 50 al Pepe, color is the hardest part for me. I started recently to force myself to sketch using color. So hard. Well, yeah, I totally understand. If you are not used to it, yeah, it's, well, like anything. Yeah, like I say, I normally like to start directly with colors. But yeah, I mean, working in black and white, it also has its advantages. So I mean, I will use one approach or another depending on of what I'm doing and what are my goals. All right, let's see. Pontus, I hope it is like Vermintide, but scaled back so that you are more of a normal human squad instead of very super powerful like in Vermintide. If I make myself clear. Yes. Yeah, I think it's gonna be that way. I think that's how it's gonna be. I mean, if with everything that they have released so far in terms of information, is that we are gonna play as a prisoner, some sort of convict, and we are selected as cannon fodder or something like that, to work for the Inquisition, and we will be trying to prove our worth to the Inquisition, and hopefully survive some missions as such. Something of that kind, if I recall correctly. Okay, let's figure out a little bit what we do with the mall. Should we do some sort of Sauron kind of maze, or something more simple? Richard, thank you for your suggestion, Miguel. These more snake named oriented Space Marine chapters like Iron Snakes, which would be interesting to see with some scale designs. Sons of Medusa is Iron Hand descendant chapter created by Edict after internal schism within the Iron Hand chapter. They are like more hardcore version of the Iron Hands. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why yeah, you're totally correct. I don't know why when you said Sons of Medusa, I immediately I had a brain fart and just thought of the salamanders. I don't know why, but yeah, you're totally correct. Yes. But I, again, now with those in mind, I still, but of course this is so personal and subjective. I personally wouldn't go with that. It doesn't fit right in my mind. Because yeah, Medusa has some reptilian aspects to it, but it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's not enough just with that name. I mean, it's like the ones that you said, the Iron Snakes. The theme there is with the Iron Snakes is more like Greek hoplites. I don't know if you have read the book, which I absolutely adored. Of course, by Dan Amnet. Sorry about that. So the snake part of the Iron Snake, I think, is not strong enough to become the main visual cue for the chapter. If I recall correctly, they are named like that after a big type of snake, like oceans, giant snakes on their native planet or something of that kind. But as far as I recall, they are more themed around or inspired on the Greek hoplites. Especially if you see the design of their chapter, the type of snake feels a little bit like these classic Greek drawings. If anything, Sons of Medusa, I would try to, yeah, but of course, just to paint that out. If I think about how I would represent them thematically, I would just use the Medusa thing as the symbol for the chapter itself, but still trying to maintain some visual cues that tie them to the Iron Hands, I think. But again, this is just my personal idea just now, without giving it too much thought in a way. By the way, have fun, creative exercise, right? I love these type of things. Richard, thanks for asking. I'm doing fine. Hope you are doing fine as well. Thanks, man. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Busy as a bee. But yeah, good. Living very exciting times, I have to say. With so many things happening, being able to start my Space Pirates personal project with Patreon very soon. Finally releasing the tutorial of how to paint and draw Space Marines after such a long time. The release of Dark Tide pretty soon. So yeah, excited. Lucius, I will never move on from the Ultramarines animations. Well, and who would not? I have it there next to my bed as a companion. Such a beauty of a film, the Ultramarines. Just playing around here, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Um, oh, I think I know what I want to do. Let's see. Nah, no. Oh, now that I think about, would be nice to have to put some sort of candles or something. Sequential Pepe happened to me with Elden Ring. Big fan of all Souls and even bought Elden. Played around 10 hours, then I stopped. Felt so hyped that I was not enjoying the world. I will go back to it soon. Yeah, that's also can be true. I mean, there is a big possibility, of course, that with the hype that you create something in your head that at the end it's way better than what they do. And then, of course, you get disappointed. We not fault on the authors or creators, but yeah, that's a real possibility that you make your own thing on your head, and then you get disappointed. That's for sure. Lucius, have you listened to the teaser transmissions? I really think they are getting the mood right in those. Yes, Lucius, totally agree. I think they are doing an absolutely fantastic job with it. Just setting the perfect mood. Yeah. And of course, I don't know. I mean, of course I can be mistaken, and at the end the game disappoints everybody. But so far, what I have seen on my end, it's very good. And I have a very, very, very tiny, narrow window into what's going on anyway, so just bear that in mind. But what I have seen so far is just like, love it to pieces. The reason why I'm struggling with the mall at the moment is because, well, I haven't thought through it before, and I'm and just having many different thoughts at the same time. And I'm thinking that I want to go for a very simplistic design in terms of making it very very simple. If it has to be working as a mall, so no, not with too many spikes or things that could break or sorry. or that could bend or something, a construction that is simple but very solid and bulky, and with a lot of weight. That's kind of what is going on my head in that regard. And I think, as we explained before, yes, it would have to have plenty of sacred inscriptions in parchments and rituals and words of power and lethanies and stuff like that. David De Luca, Miguel, have you ever drawn Xeno races for 40k like Tyranids or Necrons? I really love them, but they are tough to draw, especially Tyranids. What do you think about them? Yes, I have. I have painted some Eldar. And some other things that I cannot say because it hasn't been released yet. So yes, I have, but I don't have a big extent experience. What I think about Tyranids and Necrons? Well, Tyranids, they are one of my favorite factions in 40k lore. Back since they appeared on the first, well, it wasn't the first time, but as they did as the real Tyranids as we know them now in the second edition. Before they had a mock-up into their the established look that they have now, when the Carnifex had like these four how is it called, scythes as appendixes, with that famous White Dwarf battle report when they appeared for the first time against Imperial Guard and Eldar. And I always thought of them like absolutely like the most terrifying faction in 40k. Yes, you could have lots of discussions about if it's more terrifying like chaos, obviously because of the warp and demons and all these type of things. But to me, the scariest has always been the Tyranids. So I like them quite a lot in that sense as the ultimate monsters and bad guys. The Necrons, I like them, even though I find them a little bit silly. To be honest, I don't know much about their current lore since their revamp, and I'm trying to catch up. But to me, I feel that they have fallen a little bit too simplistic and a little bit too human-like in motivations and stuff like that. So I don't feel that they are such a weird alien race. As, for instance, you could argue that, I don't know, the Eldar are like space elves. But through time they have managed to make them look and feel pretty alien, and but the Necrons, I don't know, I mean this space pharaohs thing, I don't know. I mean, visually I think they look absolutely fantastic, but they haven't conquered my heart. I think I liked them more when we didn't have so much insight into who they were and what their motivations were. I think I mean, it's understandable, but I think they have committed in my very humble opinion, from a narrative point of view, I think Games Workshop has made an error of going deep into explaining things about the past of the Necrons instead of going more the route of hinting things and to make them more enigmatic and more mysterious, I don't know, and to make them feel more alien. Because as soon as you start to understand their motivations and everything, it feels pretty human, to me at least, and that kind of lose interest. But again, I know I have a very limited picture of the current lore, so I might be missing something which is amazing. Jaime Davila, hi Miguel, nice to catch your stream. How are you doing? Are we going to give a chance to this glorious word bearer, or is he finally going to die like a rat? Well, Jaime, welcome back. Nice to see you around, and I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit still sick, but recovering, so I'm fine, thank you. I hope that you are doing well. And yeah, he will definitely die like a rat, or well, maybe not like a rat, but yeah, he's gonna die. I still don't know yet how. Yeah, I'm coughing so much because of talking so much. David De Luca, exactly, they are scary. In my opinion, scarier than Chaos. About the Necrons, I really love them, especially the war against the Eldar and the Setan. Yeah, man. Yeah, regarding the Tyranids, I cannot agree the most. I mean, to me, I think they managed to capture very well these concepts and inspiration from Alien, the movie, and of like the ultimate space monster, and yeah, since again, since I saw that first White Dwarf battle report, where they kind of fleshed out that aspect of a relentless swarm that just want to consume planets and everything, and is just unstoppable. I don't know. I think it's super scary, and I agree more than Chaos. And with the Necrons, yeah, I think all that part about the war in the heavens and I guess the Eldar and the Citan, and all that, it's cool. I like that. What I dislike, or I find it a little bit simplistic, is when they start to explain us, as I was saying, like their motivations and thoughts and stuff like that, and then they lose completely interest because they are so banal in that way. They kind of lose their mystery to me, which is a shame because I mean, visually, once again, I think they look absolutely fantastic, and what make them originally, in my humble opinion, so cool is that idea of like the rising skeletons from rising from the earth, and we don't know where they come from and why, and how is it that they have been underneath the ground, and basically, yeah, that Games Workshop has gone too much in depth and in length into explaining the ins and outs of the Necron tiers and now Necrons, and I think they have because of that they have lost all their appeal and mystery. I mean, they should have, and the sorry, the for example, the I have listened these arguments in terms like, yeah, but they need to feel so much lore for the codices and stuff like that about the Necrons. So at the end of the day, they will have to get into explaining things and describing things. Is like, yeah, but not really. I mean, just look, for instance, the Tyranids. we know nothing about this race, even though it's been decades now within the IP, and everything that we are being told, or any stories or lore related to the Tyranids, is being told through the eyes of other races. So I think that's what they would have need to do with the Necrons, without entering into this in-depth look at their motivations and history, and just make it through the speculations and interpretations of other races. So like this, you keep the mystery, you keep the appeal, but without the danger of, as in my opinion, they have fall into of not fulfilling the expectations. So for me, always when it comes to world building, it's always leave things unexplained, or explain fully. So you leave room for interpretations and leave the imagination of the audience to fill those gaps. And it's kind of surprising, given that most of Warhammer 40k lore goes around this concept, right? Barely anything, it's real facts and established facts, because it has this fluid nature to it, and because we get those facts through in most cases through the eyes of actual actors within the lore, and of course that's flaw. So we don't have as it called in English, I don't know what's the word in English. I'm just gonna have a while. I will go with it. Omniscient narrator that explains the facts about how things are. Narrador omnisciente in Spanish, for those of you that speak Spanish. Martian, hey Miguel, how's it going, bud? Long time no here. Yes, same man. Fantastic to see you. Well, see you around on the chat. How are you doing, man? Doing well. A little bit sick, but good, and very busy with a lot of things going on. But doing pretty good. How about you, man? And speaking of catching my stream, I actually think I'm gonna have to finish pretty soon with the stream. I'm gonna pick the color. There you go. Should I add certain let's add some more details here and there. Let's see. What could we like a book perhaps, or yeah, let's add a book. I mean, he's a word bearer. So a cursed book that contain blasphemous rituals and stuff like that. To summon demons. Some sort of Necronomicon. I'm so tired of being sick. You know, I never get sick ever, and yeah, and he's been having a kid, and yeah, it seems I'm catching up with all the times that I should have been sick in my life. See Martin, glad to hear, man. Doing well, keeping busy, of course. You announced you are leaving as a drop by. My timing is impeccable. Well, man, at least you are here, and we have we can coincide some few minutes. But yeah, glad to hear. So may I ask what you are engaged with? What are you doing these days? That it need to be attached by some chain, I guess. Yeah. No, I don't like it. It's need to be a thick tome. Oh shit. Scare me the shit out. Hate or Tate, thanks for the subscription. You almost killed me with a heart attack. Oh my goodness. See Martin. You know the drill. Can't say much aside that it's fantasy related lately. All right. Cool. Cool. Well, yeah, of course I know. Yeah, but you know, sometimes things are already being announced, and it's okay to say. So it never hurts to ask, just in case. And man, glad to hear that you are engaged and busy with stuff. Then the follow up question is like, are you enjoying it? Are you then enjoying the fantasy related stuff? Oops. Well, all right, guys and gals. I think I'm done for this evening. Like always, it's been an absolute blast, even if for such a limited time. But yeah, it's always a great pleasure talking to you guys and sharing some time. And yeah, I think this little fellow, it's shaping up nicely, even if it is in a rough way, rough stage. But yeah, I guess we will continue next week. So yeah, thanks a lot, like always, for joining in, and yeah, have a nice week. Paint and draw a lot, enjoy it, and stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.